Imagine this. You're at the airport, shoes off, belt in hand, juggling your laptop and that tiny bag of liquids, all while inching through a security line that seems longer than a Tolkien novel. Now, picture this. You drive up to a sleek private jet, hand your keys to a smiling attendant, and are airborne within minutes, sipping champagne at 40,000 feet. Tempting, right? Welcome to the world of fractional jet ownership. But before you trade your frequent flyer miles for a jet share, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what they don't tell you. What is fractional jet ownership? Fractional jet ownership is like a VIP club for the skies without the hassle of actually buying an entire jet. Think of it as the private aviation version of splitting a luxury villa with your equally extravagant, or just practical friends. Instead of dropping tens of millions on a jet that will spend more time parked than flying, you buy a fraction of one, giving you access to a set number of flight hours per year, typically between 50 and 400 hours, depending on your share size. It's perfect for those who want the convenience of private flying, but without the headaches of ownership because, let's face it, dealing with maintenance, hiring pilots, and keeping up with fuel costs sounds less like luxury and more like homework. Companies like NetJets, FlexJet, and AirShare handle all the heavy lifting, from maintenance and scheduling to ensuring you don't end up on a plane that smells like someone's tuna sandwich. Need a jet on short notice? No problem. Just book your flight, show up, and avoid all the chaos of commercial airports. And the best part? You can access a fleet of different aircraft depending on your trip needs. Whether you want a sleek, speedy jet for a quick business meeting or a spacious cabin for a family getaway, fractional ownership gives you flexibility without the full price tag. It's private jet life minus the billionaire commitment. The high-flying pros. Owning a private jet outright might sound like the ultimate power move, but unless you have a spare $90 million lying around and a deep love for never-ending maintenance costs, fractional ownership is a much smarter way to fly private. Instead of shouldering the full cost of buying, storing, insuring, and maintaining an aircraft, which can quickly drain even the fattest of wallets, you split the investment and operating expenses with other like-minded jet setters. It's luxury without the financial migraine. Plus, you won't have to deal with hiring pilots or figuring out where to park a 50,000-pound flying machine. Your provider takes care of all that while you enjoy the champagne. Speaking of convenience, one of the biggest perks is the ability to have a jet ready within just a few hours. Whether it's a last-minute business trip or a spontaneous beach escape, you'll never be at the mercy of commercial airline schedules. Even if your designated aircraft isn't available, most providers will swap in a similar or even upgraded jet, meaning you may just end up flying in more style than you expected. And let's talk options. Fractional ownership doesn't limit you to just one aircraft. You get access to an entire fleet, so whether you need a small jet for a quick city hop or a long-range aircraft for a transatlantic journey, there's always a perfect fit for your trip. Best of all, it's a massive time saver. No more getting to the airport 3 hours early, waiting in long security lines, or playing human Tetris in an economy seat. Private jets can land at over 5,000 airports in the US alone, compared to the limited 500 that commercial airlines serve, meaning you arrive closer to your final destination with minimal hassle. When you add it all up, fractional jet ownership isn't just about luxury, it's about reclaiming your time, ditching the frustrations of commercial travel, and flying on your own terms. The turbulent cons. While fractional jet ownership is a cost-effective alternative to buying an entire aircraft, let's not pretend it's pocket change. The initial buy-in alone can start at over $300,000 for just a 1/16 share of a light jet, and that's before the monthly management fees of around $9,000 and the per-hour flight costs that can quickly add up. And don't even get started on fuel surcharges, because at over $1,000 per flight hour, it turns out jet fuel isn't as cheap as a road trip snack stop. On top of that, your share isn't exactly a great investment. Like cars, planes lose value over time, and with fractional fleets racking up serious flight hours, your resale price may end up looking depressingly lower than what you originally paid. Then there's the issue of availability. Think you'll always have a jet ready at a moment's notice? Not if you're flying during peak holiday seasons, where demand can outstrip supply, leaving you scrambling for alternatives. And let's talk about the contracts because they're about as fun to read as a 1,000-page Russian novel. Packed with hidden fees, complex terms, and layers of conditions, these agreements can be a minefield for the unprepared. If you're not careful, you might find yourself locked into something you didn't fully understand. While fractional ownership offers convenience and luxury, it's definitely not a decision to take lightly, unless you enjoy signing up for expensive surprises. What they don't tell you. Fractional jet ownership may seem like the golden ticket to effortless luxury travel, but there are a few realities that don't make it into the glossy brochures. For starters, while providers promise near-instant availability, jets still require regular maintenance, and if your specific aircraft is undergoing repairs, you'll have to rely on whatever else is available in the fleet. That might mean flying on a different model than you're used to or, worse, facing unexpected scheduling delays. Then there's the issue of shared wear and tear. Imagine splitting a luxury sports car with strangers who don't necessarily treat it with the same level of care. The more flights an aircraft takes, the faster its interiors and mechanical components wear down, leading to more frequent maintenance and potential downtime. Geography can also be a limiting factor. Some fractional programs have designated service areas, and if you plan to jet off to an exotic international destination, you could face additional fees or find yourself restricted to certain airports. And let's talk about the tricky part: getting out of the deal. Selling your share isn't as easy as listing it online and waiting for a buyer to Venmo you the money. The market for fractional jet shares is niche, and depending on economic conditions and aircraft usage, you might end up selling at a lower price than expected. So while fractional ownership delivers convenience and luxury, it's not a completely frictionless experience unless, of course, you don't mind a few surprises along the way. Is it worth the investment? Fractional jet ownership is the ultimate middle ground between the extravagance of owning a private jet and the inconvenience of flying commercial, offering luxury, flexibility, and a serious time-saving advantage. If you're flying between 50 to 400 hours a year and prioritize convenience over costs, it can be a game changer. But before you take the plunge and start envisioning yourself sipping champagne at 40,000 feet, it's essential to crunch the numbers and truly assess if the investment aligns with your travel habits. The financial commitment is no joke, and contracts can be as tricky as assembling IKEA furniture without instructions, so understanding the fine print is a must. If the long-term commitment makes you hesitant, alternatives like jet card programs or on-demand charters could provide similar perks without the heavy upfront investment. At the end of the day, private aviation is all about balancing luxury with practicality. So while fractional ownership can offer the freedom to skip long security lines and crowded airport terminals, it's important to weigh whether the benefits truly justify the cost. The jet-set lifestyle is within reach, but only if it makes sense for your wallet and travel needs. And there you have it, the truth about fractional jet ownership. If you loved this deep dive into the world of private jets, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more high-flying insights. Got thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.